my arts and friends, you and you and you. The night went on, the night went long, people cooling out until the break of dawn. Incense was burning, so I'm feeling high. See, I pick my friends like I pick my fruit. Granny told me that when I was only a youth. I walk around trying to be what I'm not. I won't waste time trying to get what you got. I work at pleasing me cause I can't please you. And that's why I do what I do. My soul flies free like a willow tree. We do it, yeah. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you don't wanna pick from my apple tree. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you don't wanna pick from my apple tree. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you don't wanna pick from my apple tree. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you just don't wanna be down. I have hope, and I take it everywhere I go. Cause I ain't planting seeds, so I reach what I sow, you know. Oh, on and on and on and on. My cyber keeps moving like a rolling stone. I can't control the soul burning in me. I pick my friends like I pick my fruit. Granny told me that when I was only a youth. I don't walk around trying to be what I'm not. Can't stand a motherfucker trying to get what I got. I work at pleasing me cause I can't please you. That's why I do what I do. My soul flies free like a willow tree. We do it, yeah. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you don't wanna pick from my apple tree. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you dumb diddy. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you don't wanna pick from my apple tree. And if you don't wanna be down with me, you just don't wanna be down. Oh my, I'm feeling high. My money's gone, I'm all alone. See, I pick my friends like I pick my fruit. Granny told me that when I was only a youth. I don't walk around trying to be what I'm not. I won't waste time trying to get what you got. I work at pleasing me cause I can't please you. And that's why I do what I do. My soul flies free like a willow tree. Hey. If you don't wanna be down with me, you don't wanna pick from my apple tree. If you don't wanna be down with me, you just don't wanna be down. Alright, so we're gonna have a good night tonight. This is gonna be a great night. Listen, thank you guys. I'm excited. Let's do this again sometime.
So I'm gonna do this one poem, and it would kind of explain why I walked the way I walked. Okay. Help! I should have on myself. I just said that to have y'all laughing. But if you have MS, that could really happen. This disease is something else. It'll have you losing yourself. Your nerves being attacked by your immune system. Just check out some of the systems. Let's check out some of the symptoms. It will have you walk away. Can't even put you in a wheelchair. You'll start feeling like life's unfair. From falling down to barely getting around. You'll learn a hard lesson. It will even see you into a deep depression from all that stress. And you ask me, how do I know? Well, my name is Croucher Kirkendall Jr., and I have the best. Thank you.
Come on. This is called Numb. We are a distraction. Our bodies are a distraction. They don't belong to us. They belong to them. To pick and choose and prod and poke and turn and look up and down upon, to frown at, from the kinks in our hair to the flare of our nostrils and the fullness of our lips and the richness of our breasts that have fed their children before our own were allowed to take a sip, and the curviness of our hips, childbearing hips, that only matter if they bring in a prophet that build up their land while they tear down our worlds, while they destroy us into dust. Crumbs of flecks of nothingness are all that's left when they're done with our black bodies, but they remain obsessed in our looks, in our names, in our dialects, and still they construct that whiter is better. It will take you further. It will make you human and civilize the air and room and world we share, and we shrink our blackness so whites can believe there's purity in blackness, and it's made us numb. And the remains of our souls mangle until no one can recognize us, and they discard of our bodies until they need black bodies again, and they will. Thank you.
So can I share my heart a little bit before I say my poem? So right now, our community, our nation is hurting. People are committing senseless acts of violence. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of it. We're called to love one another, build each other up. And I know y'all have all heard that saying, it takes a village, right? And I just have a heart for people. And I would just really like for us to come together, love one another, and just stop the violence. Whether it's domestic, any kind of violence, just stop it. All right, that's all I'm saying. Death, the unescapable reality we all will face. The separation of body and soul, we move from one dimension to the next. I came on strong, got straight to the point because it's killing me. You don't have the right to take a life. I'm just reminding y'all, because bodies been dropping left and right. Guns in the hands of babies that never learn to process their emotions, so when they're triggered, they unload clips, build fences around their hearts, and pretend to be unbothered. Closed lips don't break chains or heal wounds. Why can't we just talk it out? Why does it have to result in violence? I'm traumatized. Although I didn't know your name, never looked into your eyes, I watched helplessly as you tried to dodge those bullets. Sorry, y'all, I'm shaking.
All right. Got it, Mo?
Oh, Lord. It ripped out. It wasn't supposed to be in there. I watched as you fell when they pierced your body. I wanted to save you, but I sat there paralyzed by fear. You hit the ground, hard. I felt it even though I didn't hear it. Even though I didn't know your name until I seen you on the news. I cried for you, my heart hurt for you, and still does. Every story comes to an end, but we should love one another the way God loves us. We should heal and not hurt, rebuild and restore this broken world. Together we can cure, one mind at a time, because all lives matter and should not be taken. Please, please stop the violence.
Shall we have a good time tonight? Yeah. Because we can enjoy and we can learn and we can grow and we can have uncomfortable moments and we can have laughter and all of that in the same space. That's what life looks like, right? So can we have some fun? Cool. Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom getting higher than the Empire State. My lover, she's waiting for me just across the bar. My seat's been taken by some sunglasses asking about a scar. I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget, but between the drinks and subtle things, the holes in my apologies, you know, I'm trying hard to take it back. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Now I know that I'm not all that you got. I guess that I just thought maybe we can find a ways to fall apart. But our friends are back, so let's raise the toast and find someone to carry me home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Just carry me home tonight. I promise I didn't leave my voice in Oklahoma City. I brought it with me. Used to spend my nights out in the barroom. Come on now. Liquor was the only love I know. Then you rescued me from reaching for the bottle and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. Hey, I was looking for love in all the same old places. Found the bottom of the bottle always dry. Then you poured your heart out and I couldn't waste it. See, there's nothing like your love to get me high. Hey, you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned It's Tennessee whiskey. It's Tennessee whiskey. So I'm a bit of a moody singer, but we're gonna have a good time and a good mood. I want to share a song with you guys. This is an original song. And I wrote this song last year, right about the time I was hanging out here at Simply Sangria. And it was such a vibe. We were working on a film, and the film is called Neurosis. You can find it on Amazon Prime and Tubi right now. And so I wrote this song for that film. And just for a little bit of context, the main character in the film, his name is Tyrell. He's an executive, and he is in his office. He gets a phone call from a mysterious caller, who he doesn't know, who tells him that I've kidnapped your wife, so you better do as I said. So, it's a good movie, you have to watch it, it was fun. This is called Come to My Senses, and it's on the soundtrack, which you can stream everywhere, because, you know, we be doing stuff like that. There'll be no tears falling from my eyes. Let the river take me away to my demise. There's no coming back, no compromise. There's nothing left here for me, nothing to shake my soul free. No more faith, no more brighter days. See, I've come to my senses. 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 So this will be fun. So I'm gonna do one more song to finish up this first set. And this one is a fun song. So I wrote this song as well because they asked me to write more songs for more movies. So I was like, okay. This song is actually a new song that I got to share this year for a new film that's also available on Amazon Prime and Tubi right now. We just released it a couple of months ago. It's called, the film is called Fragile Bond, and it's spicy. So it's a fun film because you don't get to be one of the characters. But yeah, a lot of fun. This song is called Come Over, and this song is for the lovers. So I'm excited to share this one with you guys, and then we get to share some amazing talent right here on the mic. Y'all ready? Yeah? All right, let's go. So, what we're gonna do, this will be fun, is I'm gonna play one more song like the time you guys will get to our set, and we'll open up with that song, because it'll feel real good, yeah? Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. I'm gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. I'm gonna find you and make you want that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing. Some guys are on me about some girls are on me about that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing, that thing. Ooh, you. Any loyal fans? Yeah? Come on, we're in the house. I don't know if I can ever do a set without sharing Alex. So. Let me be patient, make me be kind, make me unselfish without being blind. Though I may suffer, I'll endure and endure what comes, 'cause she's all I got until you. Be alright, be alright, tell you. Be alright, be alright. Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. I'm gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, I'm gonna find you and make you want me. Yeah.
Mama knows you're okay, and I have all our yesterdays to hold on to while I work to lay a better foundation. And my love for you is something that'll never change, but I can't let my past control the moves that I've been making. Why should I remain a statistic? My road shouldn't have to end just because I had kids, and it doesn't matter how I arrived here. Man, just know I'm still making this life my bitch. And I'm doing what makes me feel alive, and I know your mother's gonna be a blessing. I can feel it deep down inside. So I made sure you were safe so I could grind, finding my way first, and then I'm gonna provide. And I'm not concerned with what they gotta say about me, because in the end, it's you that I don't need doubting me. And I know that I grew up in a harsh reality, but another cycle is just something that I can't repeat. And all the lies they told you, they won't mean a thing when you look up and you see mommy on the TV screen. See, I never left you, and I would never neglect you, but to make you believe that makes them disrespectful. See, because it's just with them, I didn't belong. And you will never be the reason for what your mother did wrong. See, this life gave me you, and I'll give you everything to make it easier for you to chase your dreams. My sunbeams, your sunflowers in my garden, Just know that we will never ever really be apart. You're my darlings. And know that your mother will tell you the truth, but more than that, your mom was willing to prove that you are capable against any odds. And I'm doing this here for my whole squad. My Bentleys, my Kennedys, Alexander McQueen, Jayla Denise, and I'm doing this for me. Yeah, I'm doing this for me. And it's okay to do this for me. I believe that I'll give you something to go down for many generations. And I'll be back for you, my loves. Just be a little patient. And if there's a path in life that you choose, then you have to take it. And don't let nobody tell you that you can't make it. See, I know a lot went wrong along the way, but I will never throw in the cards and decide not to play. I've ran, I've walked, and I've stumbled many miles just to look at you all and see you smile and be proud of your mama.
The moment you realize your childhood wasn't just difficult, it was meant to be. Because pain, it seems, was the first teacher to truly get through to you. The moment you understand that every failure was a map leading you to be the success that you are today. The moment you see your dream job was never your dream job. It was someone else's version of your work. You outgrew the moment you listened to your soul instead of your salary. The moment it hits you that your best friends weren't friends at all. They clapped for you in your wins, but vanished when you bled. The real one showed up when there was no spotlight, only storm. The moment you understand that being lost for so long was the only way to find yourself. You wandered, but every wrong turn brought you home. The moment when your heart shattered and you thought you'd never love again, only to realize that break made room for something real. Rumi once said, keep breaking your heart until it opens. The moment when the moment when the crash comes, when your whole world falls apart and you're still standing, wounded, shaken, but still on your feet. Sometimes holding it all together is the very thing holding you back. Sometimes everything must fall apart so that something real can be born from the wreckage. Sometimes the life you're clinging to is the very thing keeping you from the life you were born to live. And that moment when loss can no longer stop you, when sadness, rage, fear, and doubt becomes fuel instead of change, that's when you rise. Not perfect, but perfectly flawed. But yeah, still perfect. That moment you understand that what never dies may have never really lived. It's the living, the aching, the bleeding, the breathing that makes life beautiful. And through death, we see life for what it really is. Not full, not forever, but full. So live like it matters, because it does. Speak your truth, even if it makes room for the uncomfortable. Laugh loud, cry hard, dance offbeat, especially when someone's watching. And when life throws shade, throw back sunlight. Because this life was never meant to be perfect. It was just meant to be yours. Thank you. Okay, last one. I'm gonna sit down. I turned my heartbeat into a weapon because I didn't know it was music. I didn't know the thump in my chest wasn't a war drum. It was a rhythm begging to dance. I mistook survival for strength and confused silence with peace. Thought love was just a calm before the next betrayal. So I armored my ribs, made my chest a vault. I locked softness behind steel metaphors and closed doors. I called it protection. I called it poetry. But really, I was hiding a symphony behind a sniper's scope. You see, I grew up learning to flinch before I learned how to feel. To strike before I spoke. To echo the world's violence just to feel heard. And when they told me feelings make you weak, I sharpened mine into blades. Bled on every stanza, turned every I love you into a well-aimed bullet disguised as indifference. I couldn't tell the difference between a beat and a blow. I didn't know that the tremble in my chest wasn't fear, it was rhythm. That the ache in my hands wasn't rage, it was renaissance. That the lump in my throat wasn't grief, it was gospel waiting to be sung. I turned my heartbeat into a weapon because I didn't know it was music. But now I'll play it loud. I let it echo down alleyways that once held my silence. I let it crescendo where I once curled in the corners. I let it sing. Not in perfect pitch, but in truth. And flaws and fractures. Because maybe my scars are the sheet music. Maybe my story is the song. So when I walk, you'll hear bass. When I speak, you'll feel drums. When I love, you'll know that the weapon was never needed. I just needed to listen to my own rhythm and dance. And when they ask me why I stopped fighting, I'll say, because fighting never made me feel safe, just numb. Because I got tired of mistaking adrenaline for aliveness. Because healing is rebellion too. Because some of us weren't born to swing fists, but born to shift frequencies. I stopped fighting because my ancestors didn't survive the storm just for me to become one.
I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm somebody shot a Hennessy off the rocks with no chaser, not willing to water myself down for the life of your taste bud.
Okay.
Right. So if this drink is too strong for you to be sipping, I suggest you find another that suits your palate. I will not apologize for how you ingest my adjectives, nouns, and verbs because these words are for my consumption.
Okay.
I pour similes and metaphors into my cup because I know I'm just enough to get somebody fucked up. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm somebody's tequila that makes their sunrise, and if I'm not mistaken, almost everybody loves the sunshine. And if you happen to be in that number who doesn't, that's on you. I'm still gonna do what I do how I do it. I know I'm a tall glass of water and I don't need validation from others to prove it. I said, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm somebody's glass of wine when they feel the need to be dined on a long day. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's Tennessee whiskey, Jose, Long Island, Patron, Douce, whatever you prefer in your cup, just know I'm just enough to get somebody fucked up. Doing okay, I just have to warm up. Okay. So school is back in session and I'm a teacher. So if y'all don't mind, tonight I'm just gonna be myself. I feel like I have to censor myself in the classroom a lot, so being on stage and being an artist is one of those places where I feel like I can flow freely. Alright? So if you can hear the sound of my voice, clap once. If you can hear the sound of my voice, clap twice. As I've stated before, I'm a teacher. And I know I may not be the best at math, but I can do simple equations like multiply, divide, subtract, and add. But when I take a look at relationships, it just don't make sense to me. So men, you'll fuck her, but won't love her. And even with the possibility that you can make her a mother, you lie up being intimate but send sentiments and well wishes when you see 2 lines of hair with stick. So what you're saying is, you'll give her dick but won't send flowers. You want her to call you king but don't possess that power. You pretending to be her knight in shining armor to get the panties when in reality, you're just a coward. You want her to let you lead, but you have no direction. You want her to be gentle, yet you show no affection. You want her at your beck and call, but getting you to do simple shit at all is out of question. But sis, you'll lay with him, but won't pray for him. Want him to cater to you, won't fix a plate for him. You want to get dolled up and go on dates, but when his pockets is low, you won't even pay for him. Won't give, but you'll surely take from him. Want him to be patient, but you won't wait for him. You want him to be a family man, but in yours, you got him feeling like there is no place for him. You want him to open up and then you tell his business. Want him to be faithful, yet you hiding digits, and this just don't make sense to me. See, we out here swapping bodily fluids like soul ties don't exist. Being negligent with our energy without the thought of wanting to commit. We out here asking for shit that we can't provide. And when karma comes, we quick to try to hide. See, we doing shit and not owning up to our actions. We causing each other pain, but we want satisfaction. As I stated before, this don't make sense to me. I have to venture to new waters because the dating pool was full of pee. We have a problem of wanting to take and take, never wanting to give. I said our problem is we be wanting to take and take, never wanting to give, forgetting that a relationship is 50-50. Until I can't carry my load, so now it's 80-20, or I gotta pick up some extras. I gotta pick up his slack, so it's 40, 60, I know my math is right, y'all keep up with me. A relationship is about balance. We supposed to have each other's back. So in the areas that I lack, he pick up my slack. Y'all problem is, y'all want the other person to give 100% while you sit back and relax, and a real relationship just don't work like that. This is my last poem, and I'm gonna get out of your hair because I'm ready to feed the people, right? So, as I said before, being an artist on stage, I get the option to, when I say I get the option, I'm able to be myself, speak freely. I don't have to censor myself like in the classroom. If you are looking for me, you can find me on Facebook, Miss J. That's MISSJAAY. You can also find me on Instagram under the same thing. They're knocking down doors, leaving bodies on the floor as they search for another nigga to slay.
Say what?
They're knocking down doors, leaving bodies on the floor as they search for another nigga to slay.
Say what?
They're knocking down doors, leaving bodies on the floor as they search for another nigga to slay. And they say he was reaching, now he's no longer breathing as his children cry out his name. Through tear-filled screams, the American dream had always been our nightmares. Through stories told of night terrors when hooded pussies played tough and our people got fucked, both metaphorically and literally. Like many of our terms and games, nigga knocking evolved from terrorism. Roots reminding us our freedom is often followed by massacres. Mobile, 1865, Memphis, 1866, New Orleans, 1868, Colfax, 1873, Atlanta, 1906, Tulsa, 1921. But I'm supposed to show respect when I hear, oh, say, can you see? No, motherfucker. I can't see past the pain that give birth due to the disdain of the present. As I think of all the lives lost because of this present. I said, nigga knocking. They're knocking mothers and fathers out of household. Rewind. They're knocking niggas off daily. Whether grown men, women, teenagers, or babies, they're taking away our babies. And all we reply with is marches and picket lines, legislation and picket signs. Time after time and line after line, we still find ourselves in line viewing the next victim who looks like you and I. But lie, and you fry, comply, and you die to believe you're considered equal, but will forever be a nigga. And don't move too fast, or they'll pull that trigger. Don't move at all, and they'll still find a way to squeeze life from your existence. Say nigga knocking. They're knocking mothers and fathers out of household with plenty key levels. And children become wards of the system, feeling as if no one has ever missed them because they had never returned to sender. Years later, our children are immortalized on t-shirts to be remembered, and that process is repeated. That process is repeated. That process is repeated until as people we feel defeated. Nigga knocking with a no-knock policy because the biggest danger to the American dream is a nigga with dreams. So they intend to constantly be the nightmare. What happens when we bust back? I know they told us to stay calm, but fuck that. If we don't protect our own, our children will never have seeds of their own. They'll never plant. If we don't protect our own, our children will never see years of grown. They'll never plant seeds of their own and live their borrowed years in fear of one day becoming a tattooed tear taken away by those meant to serve and protect. It's our people that gets to neglect. So nigga knocking, looking for niggas to knock off. Next time that nigga knock hits your door, you stand your ground and knock his fucking block off. Don't be the next nigga to fall. Be the next black man to stand tall.
I'm often searching for two moments. One to breathe and another to just be. But this simple balance often eludes me. My life feels like I'm playing hide and go seek with my sanity while the world is playing hide and go get it with my logic. Translation, I'm childishly searching for myself while the world's only objective is to fuck with my common sense until it bursts this shadow. Creeping through the bayous and the backwoods of my thoughts, I feel this void growing. Like streams of consciousness carving out paths through a faded front porch philosophy, I can feel it following me, taunting me, echoing my name. I strain, resisting the urge to answer until exhaustion stains my face like war paint. Battle scars in my skin, illuminated through my pen, tell a story of resilience. But that just causes me to question, what is resilience without change, if not insanity? Cycles in my life, unchanged, finally feel familiar, and that is terrifying. I'm afraid my fire is cooling into content. Scared that shadow beckoning me to play Red Rover is picking off my humanity piece by piece, one by one, leaving me withdrawn, a stranger in my own mirror, soul on the run, spirit subdued in a state of constant retreat, endlessly ebbing back and forth between trying to heal and trying to compete, between trying to listen to understand and be understood when I speak, between trying to heal and trying to compete in disbelief if any of this is truly under my control. Is the sum of my whole really just a slave to destiny? And if it is, shouldn't I crash out to release? Simply exist, stressed in a state of dis-ease, become an abolitionist of fate, because according to it, I'll only rest in peace. I'm confused on whether analyzing my intentions makes me transfigured or transfixed, whether it left me lost on a path littered with reasons why the destination I charted no longer exists. But that is the thought that stands unshaken. Label it the North Star to my navigation, the unseen ram on the mountain of my sacrifice. A belief in purpose has always been my guiding light, and that is what made this poem so hard to write. Because I don't have an anecdote to tie it all in. No wise words or chance encounters to flesh out a theme of enlightenment. Nope, just confusion, emotions. Words lacking clarity or depth that tacitly acquiesce me between a pendulum swing of that light and my darkness, between trying to understand myself and trying to understand the world, between me. I'm searching for two simple moments, one to breathe and another to just be. But they often elude me. Truth is, I'm both searching for a sign and in the disbelief of my direction. Sigh. I guess I'm just confused. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I live for that. Yeah. BLKSOL. If you want to look me up, you want to follow me, man, that's my name on all platforms except Twitter. And just keep it a stack. If you searching for me on Twitter, you's a nasty motherfucker. So don't leave that alone. If I spit to the beat of freedom's ring while most deaf, does that make me a black star? If my brothers kill each other over chains but charge police murder to the game, can I call that a black card? Out of the pain and poverty of darkness, melanin illuminates the room. Sure, that's how black shines, but question, you ever wonder why we late everywhere we go? Odds are we're gonna be early to our own funeral. You sure you wanna be on black time? When the youth religiously rock hoodies like hijabs, I call that a black shawl. When you kick back and forth on the national stage for political gain, I call that a black ball. When your enemies have an assassin's aim trained at your children's potential, all you'll see is black mist. When there's an untold number of cities burned, even more bodies left lynched and forgotten, that becomes a long black list, a decade. Lost from family, forced by falsified evidence. Bro served a black dime, half the representation but twice the length of sentence. Sis was charged with a black crime. Guilty until proven innocent, that's often the black case. Politicians using black hope to push white progression, motherfucker, that's blackface silent. Because like that tree in the forest, few are ever there to hear it. That's how black cries, violently. Because our view of humanity has been socially constructed to equal savagery. That's how black dies, yet surface level conversations often end up ocean deep. Because that's truly where black lies deep. Beyond your perception of what can and can't be deep. Like visions of gains, focusing on change, weave, yet to see, I spit for love, justice, and unity. That's my black answer. Multiplying exponentially in this energy unless you radiate to stop me. I'm a black cancer. My lines glide like my rhymes were a baby by Alvin Ailey or Misty Copeland. My poems are black dancer, feeding the kids by day and busting shots at the system by night. My poems are Black Panther, critically attacking your lack of reparations paid. That's a black word. Mesmerizing the world in the midst of terrorism with our song. That's a black bird caged. but full of untold passion and love to bring change. That's a black verse to be African American and consciousness to be constantly enraged. That's a black curse, so I split frequencies to hear the core of our struggle. That's a black station, and love inebriated from screenshots from love and support from my community. That's a black buzz, living unapologetically, because sometimes apologies are the one thing you'll never get. That's black love. The power of my voice plus the truth of my words can cost my life. That's a black risk. But I stand 10 toes down, wishing a motherfucker would, raising a black fist outright. Because my life was given to me through the prism of being black, yet rarely matched the richness of culture my ancestors knew, but it deep my soul like smack one hit of this black shit, and I was head over heels. So if you really question if I care this much for black folks for real, trade your curiosity for me an opportunity to show you something that's real. The pinky swear on me, because that's a black deal.
It's available, okay? You know what I mean? There's a seafood boil everywhere you go, okay? Right in the middle of the country. Ain't no water in sight. Where did you get this crab from?
The East Coast.
You know how long it took me to get here? All right? 20-hour drive from Virginia. I don't trust that. I hate, sometimes, I hate. I don't say, okay, hate's a strong word. Sometimes I'm uncomfortable when people just they be like, oh, he's the poet laureate. And first of all, anybody know what a poet laureate is?
No.
Exactly. Okay, all right. Nobody knows, nobody cares. It sounds distinguished though, you know what I mean? So I lead with it, but nobody know. In Richmond, they didn't even know how to pronounce it for the 3 years that I was there. It was like, yeah, the poet laureate, you know what I'm saying? He a poet lawyer, you know what I'm saying? He be representing all the poets in court. I was like, no, this is not, okay, Mom, that's not how it works. I'll explain, okay, just know that the mayor said I was important. But I cut up a lot. I cut up a lot on stage, and so I always feel like people are like, oh, he's, you know what I mean, he's a poet, and he's a writer, and he's a poet laureate. People expect me to be very distinguished, and that is not what you're about to get for the next 20 minutes or so. All right, you want to get some serious poems? Somebody say serious poems.
Serious poems.
And dumbass jokes. Dumbass jokes. Good God, you guys learn very quickly. Okay, all right.
You got dad jokes in your bag?
Do I have dad jokes in my? Kinda. You want me to tell some dad jokes? Is that what it is? You want me to tell some dad jokes? It's gonna be okay. I mean, I will. You want a few dad jokes?
Yeah.
Few dad jokes?
Yeah, that's it.
Dad jokes. Okay. Why did my dad cross the road? To get away from child support. I'm just joking. It was for crack. Knock knock. Not my father. There you go. Dad jokes. Show some love for my dad jokes. Show some love for my dad jokes, but not my dad. Y'all can clap it up for that. I'm really excited to be here. I've never been to Wichita a day in my life, and I've traveled. I drive a lot, so I've traveled I've at least traveled through most cities. I've never, ever been to Wichita, mostly because it sounds scary. I know y'all are used to it, y'all are here, but a city that starts off with witch sounds frightening to me. Okay. And they're like, well, what's in Wichita? They're like, fields. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I am a black man from the South. That's the last thing I want to know about Wichita, Kansas. White people, how y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all had it pretty rough about 2 poets ago. These days, they looking for niggas to hang. And look right at y'all. They looking for niggas to hang. Are you looking for niggas to hang? It's like, God damn, bro. Relax, I gotta sell books out here.
You gotta come back.
came in with a reparations shirt. She does my niggas fan. I'm like, man, this is not gonna go well. This is not my usual demographic. They brought me here to do poems. If you didn't, believe it or not, they brought me here to do poems. Are y'all feeling okay? Say word. Word. We say that. Hosts say that kind of stuff, and then I don't know what else you would say, right? It's like, could you imagine somebody was like, "You feeling good?" Say yeah, and everybody says yeah, and there's one guy that's like, "Well, actually, I'm glad you asked." We're in a space now, man. The world is not fine. We're gonna be fine, right? We're gonna be fine, right? We've seen tough times before. We've seen the world be chaotic before. I don't know if we've seen it this chaotic, but we have seen the world in chaos before, and we have watched the resiliency of people move through and come out fine on the other end. Say word. Word. So we're gonna be fine, even if it doesn't look fine right now. But I'm a firm believer, right? I do a lot of talks about mental health. I'm a firm believer that when you're not fine, you gotta say that you're not fine.
That's right.
Because I have been a person that did not say they were not fine, right? I was always fine. Anybody else like that? That's how you doing? You're like, oh, I'm fine. And we hold it all in. But eventually, that energy got to go somewhere. And eventually, it all boils up, and then it comes out at the worst possible time. Now you're crying in the middle of the grocery store, all right? Nobody wants that on their broccoli. Tomatoes. You specifically tomatoes? Or you? Okay. Were you just not a broccoli fan? You just like wish I picked a different vegetable / fruit? Because a tomato, you know what I mean? Like it's, there's still some debates out there. It's a fruit. Technically it's a fruit. It's not, we don't use it like a fruit. Do anybody just eat tomatoes? You just bite into it? Okay, just a couple people in it. All right, okay. But never, I it goes on pizza and that's it. It's gotta be mashed up, mixed in with seasonings. All right, so the question, right? The question is always, how are you? And I respond, I'm fine. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And when I say I'm fine, sometimes I do mean I'm okay, I'm good. Sometimes, y'all, when I say I'm fine, I mean your shoulder looks too sharp to lean on. I'm worried that you'll cut me and drown me in everything that I spill to you. Sometimes when I say I'm fine, I mean, no, I don't trust you to carry all my weight. This depression makes me a lifeless body. This pain be a dead lift. You can't skip leg day and expect to hold all this grief. Or when I say I'm fine, what I really mean is, today I am swallowing hell. Better to be a burning building than to open my mouth and become an arsonist. You may have come into this conversation as an empath, all sympathetic, but you may leave like a burnt body after Pompeii, a corpse after Chernobyl. Most days, how are you is a hollow question, and most don't want the depth of a real response. When I say I'm fine, and what I really mean is, you don't want to know it's not about you. Or, you don't want to know because it is definitely about you. Or, it is always about you. And that's a part of the problem. I say I'm fine, what I really mean is, I have always been the rock, the strong friend you're supposed to check on but don't, and what I've really been is a wall with no boundaries, played therapist to every friend and lover while still dealing with my own childhood trauma. So now my love language is acts of service while acting like I got my shit together. Or it's physical touch but emotionally unavailable. It's gifts but not giving myself enough grace to actually be myself. I say I'm fine and I mean I am alive and that's all I'm grateful for today. Or I don't know how or why I'm still alive. I don't really feel like being alive today, and that is the scariest response, because that doesn't validate a suicide. It doesn't help me heal. It doesn't help me grieve. It doesn't help bring my mother back. It doesn't close a casket or give closure. It just feels dehumanizing or more human than I'd like to be. So I'm fine. I just say I'm fine, and really I mean I am angry, or I'm scared, or I feel like I'm rotting away, and then what are you supposed to say? I mean, since when have kind words stopped this kind of decay? So I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. But Paul Laurence Dunbar said it's easier to wear the mask, smile, and ask, how are you? It's really, really hard to actually kind of talk about your feelings, which is wild, because I'm in a space where, awesome, thank you. I'm in a space where that's like the goal, right? And then, I found this kind of by accident. I used to like to write. I came from a real musical family, but had no musical talent whatsoever, which is very fucked up.
Sorry.
That's laughing at my face. All my family are musicians. They're like singers. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get none of that. I blame my mother. So I'm working on that. But I really love to write. And I love telling stories. I love hearing storytellers. And then eventually I just kind of fell into poetry, honestly. I love music. I was doing hip hop for a little bit, but then I had an English teacher who I felt safe enough sharing some poems with. And she was the first one to be like, "Oh, you're a really talented writer. You should do more of this." And that's what kind of put the battery in my back. And now here I am, 20 plus years later, still doing poems. So sometimes it just takes a little encouragement, right? Sometimes you just need the right people around you and the right people in your ear. And so but it takes time. But it's hard. It's hard being vulnerable with people. And it's really, really hard. It's honestly very hard for guys. It's really hard for men to open up, be vulnerable, be softer, because you're told you're supposed to be hard out the gate. You know what I'm saying? You can't show no emotions. You gotta pack all that, you gotta, keep all that shit in. I mean, from day one, you slide out the womb crying, they're like, "Man up, little nigga," and I'm like, "Oh man, he just got here." And so, for that reason, so I'm a father of 4. 18, 11, 9, 3. All right, relax. Okay, I need all those responses. Oh, you've been busy. 3, 18, and 3. I'm aware. I did the math. I know. I was there. You know what I'm saying? I was there when it all happened. Okay.
We was just checking.
Caught me by surprise too. A couple of them. And I got 3 girls. I got 1 son. Yeah, I know. Poor him. He's tucked between all these sisters. You know what I'm saying? He's the middle child. Goddamn. And I encourage all my kids to be open, be vulnerable. But I will say that because of the culture we live in, it's a lot easier for my daughters. It's a lot easier for them to open up to me. It's a lot easier for them to open up to others. You know what I mean? It's a space that's kind of curated for that, right? And not boys so much. And I refuse to do my son a disservice by keeping those things from him. Boys need to be nurtured, right? Just like we nurture daughters. You know what I'm saying? When they're young, you know what I'm saying? Kiss and hug them boys. They deserve affection just like everybody else. They're human beings, right? They're human beings with human emotions and feelings. Don't take that from them, right? It's literally dehumanizing to remove them from access from all of their emotions. Say word. Word. I kiss my son on the forehead, on the cheek. He's 9 now, but I've done it ever since he was a baby. When he was 2, I kissed him first time he peed in the potty all by himself. At 6, I kissed his scraped knee when a bike ride became a bull ride. He gets a peck atop of his head every day before school. At 12, when the first person he puppy loves dogs him, when a flood breaks from his eyes, I will kiss him dry. At 17, I'm gonna kiss him before prom, tell him he's gorgeous. At 18, give him a smooch right before he graduates. I kiss my son because kids are very embarrassed when their parents kiss them, and I love embarrassing my children. I kiss my son because I kiss my daughters. That's not a poem. We're expected to kiss daughters. Cradle, coddle, give them all the affection, but not our sons. No. We punch our sons in the shoulder, in the chest, then you man up, you go hard, you be a stone, a wall, but not like Stonewall Rebellion 1969, because that would be gay. You know how fathers are so scared for their sons to be gay or to be anything different than their assumptions, because we're lied to. We're lied to. We're lied to and told that the gay means sensitive, or the sensitive means soft, or that soft means feminine, or that feminine means weak. Fathers are expected to chisel their sons into gargoyles, these sculptured monsters that make concrete of their personality or their sexuality and leave their emotions a fluid, forgotten center. I kissed my son because my mother couldn't kiss me, because my mom had to be a dad. I kissed my son because my dad was never around to kiss me or hold me or tell me I'm beautiful. Not that he would have anyway. I mean, he comes from a time where manliness gets cut from affection, and patriarchy has always pulled the strings, making men these hyper-masculine marionettes who boulder their fists and try to puppeteer women. Masculinity so fragile, but held in the hands of men who only crush and violate, but not my son. He will not grow up in that crater of manhood that I am still climbing out of, where the threat of emasculation is an earthquake looming around every shaky compliment, where even a hug is a tremor, where I love you is a fault line dividing men, where fathers won't even embrace their son's cheek for fear of cracking his face like crust, where the male ego gets built like a castle, but could crumble, y'all, with just a kiss. Come on. I grew up in an era where, you know what I mean, like just around like older men where they, you know, you had to be tough on boys because that was gonna make them tough. That was gonna make them tough guys, tough manly men. That was gonna keep them straight or whatever the logic was at the time. But listen, like that doesn't, just because you didn't hug them as a kid, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? I know a bunch of gay motherfuckers that never got a hug a day in their life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, so your kids are gonna be whatever they're gonna be. And if you love your children, you love your children, period. There's no addition to that, there's no adjustments, there's no commas. If you love your children, you love your children. Say word. Say word. I got any parents in the building? Any parents? Okay, all right. A lot of reluctant hands. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to open up wounds. He was like, okay, all right, I might as well. I mean, I claim my taxes. All right. Jeez. We'll start a little support group after this. You gotta love your kids for who they are, right? Who they are, who they'll become later, because they deserve that. They deserve to be loved. Parent and child relationship, my personal opinion, parent and child relationships is the closest thing to unconditional love. Every other love comes with conditions. I don't care what you say, all right? You can say you love your partner unconditionally. They got one time to fuck up, all right? Before you like pack your shit. They got one time to cheat and you be like, you are burning this bitch down tonight. Full Angela Bassett car in the back. I don't know how to make set fire sound effects. Where's the DJ when you need one? But parent and child relationship is the closest thing that comes to unconditional love. My kids can do damn near anything, right? And I'm gonna love my kids. Like, listen, let me tell you something. Not that I'm not saying this right. I'm just saying it's true. Jeffrey Dahmer mama loved him despite him sauteing motherfuckers in the apartment, okay? That's an unconditional love like I've ever seen one, okay? And if Jeffrey Dahmer's I don't know how this turned into the motivational part of this thing, but if Jeffrey Dahmer's mama can do it, then you can too. Say word. Be like Jeffrey. Be like Jeffrey Dahmer's mama. She might have made a couple missteps, just considering the type of person she turned out to be. There's something happened along the way. I don't know what those decisions were. But love your children is really what I'm trying to say here. My son flutters through the house, arms out in no direction like a butterfly, playing tag with his own shadow. One Halloween, a butterfly is what he asked to be, unprompted. Now, he knows nothing about what society associates with fancy colors and flutter. He just loves butterflies. Now, I don't know if you know, sir. I don't know if you know how hard it is to find, I've run out of stage, a boy butterfly costume. But there ain't one. They're all meant for girls. They're all flowy dresses and monarch gowns. They are fairies turned multicolored insects. But we bought one because my baby wanted one. And so there he was, all orange and black, satin, frilly bottom, wingspan, bright as the summer. My son was 3 at the time. He was 3. Doesn't know what a dress is. Never addresses it as a dress when he sees it. Just imagines himself dressed to the nines and free from his chrysalis. And when I was a boy, we couldn't be butterflies. Could we, sir? No, hell no. At best, you could be like a wasp. Scorpion. Something that stings or gets stung, something that hurts, something that gives pain, but never chrysalis. A chrysalis hardens and it births a rainbow. A chrysalis allows what's inside to become new. And I was taught that boys can't rainbow. The best you can scab, a scab hardens and then bursts a scar. Like, boys make it out of their childhood but are often scarred by it. You know, he was so fascinated with butterflies that we learned a few things. Like how some wings are poisonous. Ain't that a metaphor for a boy born into toxic, carrying it on his body, on his back, dangerous, when he just wants to be beautiful, wants to stop and smell the roses? My son still stops mid-stride to admire a flower or the sky or the beauty and just being alive. He is a kaleidoscope of emotions and always breaking free. But butterflies, it's so easy to break. And that is what scares me most. That some human is gonna rip away at his delicate innocence. I learned that when you touch a butterfly's wings, it kills a million tiny scales. And this is when a monarch loses his color. This is when a boy forgets he's allowed to be beautiful or whimsical or alive. But if you stay perfectly still, then a butterfly will trust you enough to rest on you. So now, I'm trying to soften my primitive hands so that he lives like a butterfly, doesn't die like a man. Instead, I admire him in his butterfly costume as he twirls and boasts and still plays with all the trucks and trains and little boy things. And sometimes he'll rest his head on my palm as if to tell me thank you for giving him wings. And all of this happens while I'm in my own shell, learning from him how to be free. So that poem is actually based on a true story. Like he really at 3, he's 9 now. When he was 3, we let him decide. First time we let him decide what he wanted to wear for Halloween, and he picked a butterfly. And I was very nervous. If I'm being 100% with you, I was very nervous. And at first I was like, but I didn't want to stop him. I didn't want to shoot his dreams down. Like, he was just a kid who wanted to wear a costume, right? And so at the time, my wife, I told her, it's my ex-wife now, but at the time, just, for the story, it was, I don't need to get into the details, whatever, his mama, right? I told his mama. I jokingly said, I was like, we're gonna let him wear this butterfly costume. I said, you know what? For Halloween, I'm gonna dress up as a boxer. Because if anybody got something to say about my baby, you know what I'm saying? They about to, we about to get, you gotta get these hands, you know what I'm saying? And she said, you can't do that. That's probably not a good idea. I was like, okay, cool. So that year, actually, all of us dressed up as butterflies, the entire family, when we went trick-or-treating. For 2 reasons. For me, 2 reasons. 1, solidarity. He's not the only butterfly in the house, right? We can all flutter, right? And then secondly, nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to get their ass kicked by a grown man in a butterfly costume, right? I'm playing defense, sir. I'm playing defense now, right? Parenting is like super important to me. So my dad unfortunately just wasn't around. He didn't want to step up to the plate. I will say that he struggled really, really hard with addiction. The crack joke was real. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately.
I didn't want to laugh.
I just love how you could just say crack and somebody's going to laugh. Right? It's the funniest drug. It's the funniest drug. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just say crack and then it's somebody's, and it only comes second to like meth. You say meth and somebody's like, ah!
It's crack his thing.
So I was raised by a single mom. Anybody was raised by a single mom? Okay, all right. So we all got a little trauma. Okay, fantastic. Okay, good. It's good for the story. Yeah. I was raised by a single mom. You know, if you was raised by a single mom, like, you know that your mom had to be extra tough, because she feels like she's playing both roles. Right? She don't have anybody else there to like handle the other side of it. She got to be everything. You know what I mean? Including the disciplinarian. When you're raised by a single mom, she don't take no shit ever. Ever. You get away with absolutely nothing. The first and last time I cussed at my mother, right? All black people know what the story is. White people look, I'm gonna explain. White people are very confused. She's like, what? I cuss at Karen all the time. First and last time I cussed at my mother, I was 16 years old, right? We were arguing, which was my first mistake. And I'm in the kitchen. My mom is actually like, kind of like down the hall to the left, up the stairs where her room is. That's kind of important to the story, right? Don't get ahead of you, black people. They have no idea. Like, she's pretty far away. I don't see how else could go that way. It's just in her room. And so while we were arguing, I yell out, okay, we're good, sidebar. All right, so look, if I had known that you only get one, I'm not saying I wouldn't have cussed at all. Yeah. What I am saying is I would have used my one time on a much better word. I wouldn't have gone like full like F-bomb or something like that, but I would have at least said something that you can't say on like public television. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used my one time on damn. See how anticlimactic that is? It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, this kid's saying that shit right now. You just like it. So I yell from the kitchen down the hall to the left and up the stairs. I say, sometimes you can be so damn petty. Right. And like, I turned around, feeling accomplished and parched, just go get myself some water. And then like a chill kind of came over me. It was very Friday the 13th. It was very And in a matter of seconds, my mother had came from all the way upstairs, around the corner, down the hall, and into the kitchen in like a cloud of smoke. Hashtag Black Girl Magic. And then she did that thing that parents do, that I do to my kids now, but it was annoying as hell then. And she kind of leaned in and she was like, "What you just say?" Now, I'm not dumb enough to say it again. And I completely backpedal. I'm like, well, I just think you can be a little unreasonable sometimes. Did you want some water? I was going to get some water. Maybe we can just talk about it. And so for context, right, I know we in Wichita, but for context, my mom comes from one of the roughest hoods in Richmond, Virginia. I'm not exaggerating. My mom was born and raised, survived and thrived from Mosby Court. Mosby Court is one of the toughest places to grow up in Richmond City. Grass refuses to grow in Mosby Court. It's scared. It doesn't want to be there. All right? Knowing this information and knowing my mother, I go up to protect my face. And my mother saw this as a sign of attack. And in one fluid motion, my mother grabs me and suplexes me out of the kitchen and into the dining room and through this piano bench that was next to us. I mean, full WWE. When I woke up, I had graduated, so that was cool. And my mother is hovering over me talking about, so who the hell is Petty? Because she don't live here. All right, that is my mother in a nutshell. Y'all clap for my mama. And proud of you. It wasn't child abuse then, it was good parenting. Right? Sometimes you gotta put your children through a table every once in a while. They gonna call some people on you now. You can't do that shit right now, alright? I love my mom. We've had an awkward relationship over the years, and my mom recently passed at the very end of 2021 after a long battle with cancer. And it's bittersweet, right? Because I watched my mom suffer for a really long time, and so while I would much rather have her here, I also did not want to see her suffer anymore. You know what I mean? Grief is like that. Grief is weird, right? Because there's a lot of emotions that kind of go along with that. And then just watching your relationship with your parent changes. You know, it changes, and it gets. You know, you're at a point where they take care of you, right? That's their job. They take care of you your entire life, right? And then they get older and things change. And then I was a caretaker for my mom until the day she passed. I mean, from doctor's visits to helping her change clothes, you name it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't feel real until it does. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel real until it does. And it really takes you through like a ton of different emotions. Watching that happen right in front of your face. My mom was the first superhero I ever seen. And to watch her kind of slowly break down kind of fucked my whole worldview up. I just wanted to give her one more day. In that time before her kidneys quit, before her thyroid collapsed, before stress punched her in the eyes, slowed that disco in her chest down to a death march, give her an appreciation for what life has made her. I want to see a smile that doesn't have her past in it. I gaze in rose-colored nostalgia. She would see a cracking wall of the bombshell she used to be. I still see remnants of explosions in her eyes when I was a child. Her arms were like shopping carts. It would load groceries enough to fill tummies, and sometimes I'd ride inside her biceps because it's where I felt the safest. Her knuckles told me stories. I would fall asleep thumbing through pages of scuffles she never wanted to mention. Read a few footprints on her neck and there was blood on her teeth, half beauty, half beast, all bite. My mother never barked. She said, barking is an empty threat and it implies that you are a bitch. Not this elegant seamstress who discovered the chic in draping uncertainty. She was 5 feet 9 inches of fuck you, I'm fierce, and disguised everything that she didn't want noticed. Needled all her worn emotions into steel garments to protect herself from men like her father, womenizers, alcoholics, abusers, and men with egos like thread. The fabric of time, it showed her disdain. She wove morals into everything she made my brother and me. I watched her cut a lot of people loose, but stay stitched to her resentment, made her this glowing crimson sienna. My mother was the most beautiful shade of bitter. She is older. It became a rust color now. She would walk to the mailbox like she wouldn't make it back. Her blood used to rush like it was late for work, and now it would barely get her out of bed. She had a smile like a tattered flag still waving, posture like an old rocking chair, made her voice a raspy sway. Her heart was literally 2 sizes too big, and it didn't have that same bump like it used to, but when I leaned against her chest, it still had the sounds of Parliament Funkadelic and Earth, Wind and Fire in every beat. I mean, her generosity was immeasurable. I mean, she gave, but she never got, never had a father, a husband, a man to pull his own weight, a dad, but still managed to raise God's Rosa Mae. Single mother, workaholic, a sage, but believed in herself the way she believed in happy endings. Had learned from firsthand experience you can't trust people about as far as you can shoot them. Has had every dream crushed under the heel of someone who just didn't love her enough, and had taught her to treat her reflection the same. And I pleaded for her to embrace the beauty in a scarred yesteryear, but often she would respond that it's too late. The echoes of worthless have rang throughout her conscience for too long. She is what happens, y'all, when perfection gets dragged through the mud. My mother wasn't just any woman, she was every woman. She was Whitney Houston, Shaka Khan, Wonder Woman. My mother was more woman than any man was ready for, and more man than any of the ones that came in and out of her life. So what I'm looking like on time, bro? Okay.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I knew I had a couple more poems in the set, so I didn't want to like monopolize all the time. How we feeling? You feeling good?
Yeah.
I know it got a little heavy. We'll come back up. my relationship with my mom changed a lot of things. It changed how I looked at just everything out in the world. My mom was a very like faith-driven person, which I really admired. But it definitely over time took us in two different directions. And sometimes that caused us to butt heads. But I feel really fortunate that in all the changes that we went through, and all the conversations, all the arguments, all the ups and the downs, that my mother and I really expressed like an appreciation and an understanding for where we were in our lives at the time, for whether it was what we wanted to do or how we believed or whatever it was. So this poem was written when my mother had just first gotten really sick. She had a number of health issues leading up to this, but this is where she was like really down bad. And was pretty much bedridden for most of the time. We had just started chemo, and she was having like a few other issues. But my mother's got a heart full of batteries. An active morning leaves her drained, leaves her out of breath. She stays plugged into the bed through most of the afternoon, recharging most days, takes all evening. She uses these moments to read scripture and talk to Jesus. My mother owes her life to her faith. Would often ask me to take her to church on Sundays. She remembers all the times she's died, when resurrection has been a defibrillator laying hands on her. She thanks God for all the transformations and never the doctors. I have recently watched like a documentary about how often religious books gets doctored, how holy text goes through transformations. I read a lot about scripture. Found there were 14,800 differences between the original Bible and its most modern version. That there was no mention of Christ's return in its earliest rendition, that the similarities between Christianity and Egyptology are uncanny, and most religious holidays linked to Christ are pagan and have nothing to do with Christ at all. And after watching all this, I became agnostic, not atheist. I didn't choose to believe in nothing, not that there's anything wrong with that. I just chose to stop looking through the pigeonhole that is religion. Thought a huge word like God was too big to put in a chapter book. I use terms like universe now. I don't really pray as much as I meditate, and I figured if Jesus, Muhammad, and Moses didn't need a Bible, Quran, or Torah, then maybe I should follow suit. Now, at one point, I thought I had to educate my mother on everything that I had learned, right? Truth about King James, religious fear-mongering, the origin of Satan, and since then, she has stopped asking me to take her to Sunday service. Go figure. Says that she's praying for me, never really specified what she was hoping was gonna happen. She thinks I'm an atheist. She had never heard the word agnostic. And I was starting to think there were 14,800 differences between my mother and me. When the surgeon said there was no mention of her return, I responded like scripture, "O ye of little faith." Realized the similarities between her and I are uncanny. And a little bit of gospel I still have inside had nothing to do with Christ at all. It was after watching cardiac arrest leave her chest split like a Red Sea. After cancer had been a nail in our family's palm, and every man in her life be one Judas after another. These things made me doubt the Lord, but overcoming them made her believe in God more. Maybe she's blind. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe faith it's just about being blind and trusting everything you feel. She calls it God, I call it the universe. She found it in a book, and I found it in her. Look, I've learned too much about the Bible to always believe in it, but she's gone through too much in life not to. My mother passed down the same Bible she swears kept her alive, and I'm gonna read it all the way through one day when they add a book about my mother. I'm agnostic, not atheist. There are times I've seen too much to believe in God, but I've watched my mother be God too much not to believe in something. I got a couple more poems, and then everything that I've done tonight has been featured in one of these three collections. I've been fortunate enough to have a pretty long career. I really got going. I really got going in probably like 2008, 2009. Like I really hit the ground running. But I had been writing, and taking it seriously probably since about 2004, like fresh out of high school. And so I've actually released 4 collections. These are my 3 latest. I just continued the first one. And so I'm really proud of this work. It took, my birthday is in a week. I'll be 39. So thanks. It took 39 years of experience to get to here, right? Like every up, every down, every struggle, every moment of resilience, every moment where I wasn't resilient.
is documented somewhere in these books. And that's been a part of my healing journey. And so I decided to kind of share that with the world, because why not, right? Because if you don't tell these stories, right, people kind of feel like they're alone in these struggles, right? We all kind of experiencing like similar things, and feeling alone is one of the worst feelings in the world, right? There's somebody who understands you, right? And if we don't share the stories if we don't share our stories, if we don't share our experiences, then we don't build those connections. Say word. So connect with me before you go. I hope you get a book. I know this poem, but it's hard to get through it if I'm just being completely honest. And so because I'm always worried that it's gonna fuck me up emotionally, I now decide to read the poem as opposed to just performing it. Say word. Word. Like I said, grief is tough. Yes, and whether you're grieving a loved one or grieving the loss of a relationship or whatever has kind of put you in that place, just getting through it and getting on the other side of it is a very difficult process. That comes with a lot of layers. I know we've all heard about the 5 stages of grief, but those things can take a while, right? There's no time limit on how long you're supposed to grieve, or when you're supposed to stop grieving, or when it's going to all be over. That's just not how it works. It's just not how it works. So you have to give yourself a lot of grace and a lot of patience. Say word. Word. 5 things they don't tell you about grief. 1, denial is an understatement. No matter how long I watched my mother sink every day, I cried enough to drown an ocean, hoping she'd rise like a tide, but instead, she was returned to me as sand in an hourglass. I still turn her ashes over and over and over in hopes she comes back, but nothing. They say the hands of time are always moving forward. What they don't say is that in grief, the hands will strangle you. 2, anger could have been the name of every stage of grief, and it still would have been true. I was angry in denial. I was angry in acceptance. I was angry at myself for not doing enough. I was angry at my mother for not doing enough. I was angry at the doctors. Felt like they treated her life like a game, and we suffered another loss after we walked out of their practice. They say that you'll be angry when she's gone. They don't tell you that you'll be furious just watching other people celebrate Mother's Day. 3, depending on your religion, you may not do much bargaining. I will not barter with a God that let his own son die swiftly in front of him and let my mom die slowly in front of me. Doesn't feel fair. I mean, my father was the deadbeat, but my mom died first. And every day, I still offer to trade them. Like, bring back the one who was nothing. Bring back the one who didn't care. The one who was never there. Okay, so you may bargain just a little, even if you have nothing to offer. 4 was the stage of cancer my mother was in when she found out. The 4th stage of grief is depression. I think that there are no coincidences. That depression is a cancer. One that my mother had been experiencing long before her diagnosis, like when her father disowned her, or when her mother treated her like a mistake, or when her oldest son, my brother, was locked away for 20 years. Hard to call it a stage when it's all you've ever known. Here's what they don't say. Depression feels more like a trap door than a stage. 5, they say acceptance comes in the end. But the catch is, there is no end. That grief is a jump scare on repeat. You may go months without sobbing, and then boom, every voice sounds like your mother's. Reminded me that I handed her over to a healthcare system that cared more about our insurance than ensuring me she'd be okay. I have accepted that not everyone is going to care about the people that you've cared for. Not doctors, not family, not friends, and they'll all say, gone too soon, but did nothing to keep you here. They don't tell you that the 5 stages of grief are all performances in a show you never wanted to be in front of an audience you don't want to show your tears to, and the reality hits you that the show has to go on until the curtain closes, and you pass this song and dance on to the ones who will eventually grieve you. So this is my last poem, y'all. Somebody say last poem. But don't let it be the last time I see you. Make sure you come to me, talk to me. The books are $15, but the hugs and the handshakes are free. Say word.
Word.
I'm a firm believer in love, right? I know it's kind of corny. It's kind of like a corny poetry thing to say, but like I love really is my religion, right? I think that if we have to, as a culture, move and operate in love first, in kindness first. And I think that changes a lot with how you meet people, how you interact with people, and how those interactions change somebody else and how they'll go on to interact with the people that they go on to meet, right? I firmly believe in the ripple effect, right? Like you throw that rock into the pond and you see how that force goes out and reaches further than that rock ever could, right? So meet people and greet people in love and in kindness first, right? Love and kindness and understanding first, before anything else. Say word.
Word.
So in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Cameraman, you're gonna hate me because I'm actually about to come off stage. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. So when I'm speaking these words, this isn't poetic rhetoric, this is me trying to get back to the sentence from which I came.
Okay.
Love. Love is like 2 or 3 different more concrete emotions all rolled into one mass combined with flesh and speech to create man. Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was love, because God is love. So I love you the way God does, like forever, like no end, because God, or love, is infinite. And we were made in this image of infinite love. So in the search to find myself, not only had I never left, but I have been looking in the eye of I the entire time, just waiting on me to speak the words. So that God in me can be revealed. So that's self-love. It's what you need first before you go looking for God in someone else. All right, so here's some questions, right? Like if God sees all, how can love be blind? Or if I'm looking for a true love, does that mean I'm looking for a true God if in fact God is love? Or if God is love and this is true, how come we look up to find God but we fall into love? I mean, when did we learn to separate the two? Or if we make love, have we formed God inside the room? Is this the never before explained immaculate conception of God and intercourse of universes colliding, planet first, emitting bursts of energy so far beyond known to flesh and bone that we put it on a throne? I've only known love to be that powerful. So it changed everything. Even changed the way I pray. Like dear love, I God you. Guide me as only you could. So many people run from you, mistreat the vessels in which you were contained because they are told to fear God, which makes them fear love. So they go through life never being able to understand God, never being able to feel love. Even church told me to fear God and ask why. How? How do I love you and fear you at the same time? It didn't make sense. So I had to be born again. I was dying to find you. I mean, I know so many who have died to find you. And often, we are too far gone. We're so far gone that we can't even see where God is anymore. And this is why we look for love in all the wrong places. So in hopes that everyone finds their one true God. In love's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
That's my time, y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Thank you so
When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing? I don't belong here, no. Oh, she's running out. She is 9.5. Gotta put the half in there. It's important.
Right.
Seriously, yes. So my baby was hanging out with us at the studio where we film movies and record songs and things, and she heard us talking about a concept for a movie that we were preparing to film. And we were using responsible words because the movie itself is a bit of a thriller, so it's not anything that she is ever going to see, right? But we're sitting there talking about this song, and I'm strumming some things on my guitar, and it's a creepy vibe. And I start humming something, and she says, "Oh, you should say this." And I thought, "Oh, that's good. Write that down." And before I know it, she'd written this song. It's called "Be Careful in the Woods." Please be aware, and if you still dare to go stomping around in these parts, prepare to be scared. Be careful in the dark. Monsters run loose in these woods, and baby, they're up to no good. More dangerous than lions and tigers and bears. Be careful in the woods. So baby, they'll tear out your heart, eat you alive from the start. These creatures don't care if it ain't fair. Be careful in the woods. They'll tear out your heart, eat you alive from the start. These creatures don't care if it ain't fair. Be careful in the woods. Be careful in the woods, yeah. Be careful in the woods, oh. These creatures don't care. Oh, you. Yeah. These creatures don't care. Guys, hang out. This has been a beautiful night. I hope you guys had a good time. You had a good time? Yeah. Shout out to everybody who graced the stage and had a great time with us. Shout out to our servers in the house for listen, I don't know how many glasses we have. Why are y'all open? It's good. Food good? Are you coming back?
Yeah.
Good, we got you on tape, so you can show up. Shout out to Black Soul, shout out to Mr. J, shout out to the entire crew. We had a beautiful time tonight, and thank you guys for sharing this with me. My name is Damon Anthony. You can find me at DamonAnthonyMusic.com. You can scan the code up here. There are links to the music that I have out. You can find me on streaming platforms, and the movies that I've been sharing with you guys. A lot of them are already streaming and playing, so come and hang out with us, right? Sing the songs, watch the films, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's share about it. Let's have a dope time, right? So, can I do one more? We got one more? Come on. This is fun. I swear, I don't have to sing it every time, but I do. You see, I was literally trying to get out of here. Right? I meant that too. Because I'm driving back to Oklahoma City tonight, but not before I do this. explain it. Because I'm a lover, a giver of the deepest proportions, the manifestation of pleasure and your deliverance to the height of passion. See, baby, I'm that one. Earth shakes and lightning strikes as we grip tight to the throes of ecstasy. And now I have you next to me. You beg for me to finally touch you. I hope that you're the one. If not, you are the prototype. We'll tiptoe to the sun and do things. Oh, I know you like. I think I'm in love. Yeah. Today must be my lucky day. 'Cause baby, you are the prototype. There's something out of the ordinary, like catching matinee. 'Cause baby, you are the prototype. I think I'm in love. Let's go to the movies, yeah. Actually, you heard me talk about some films, and the perfect one, it's on Tubi right now, so we can watch it at the house. I'll bring popcorn, you can bring the vibe. It'll be a good time, I promise. Yeah. 'Cause if we happen to part, Lord knows I don't want that. Hey, 'cause we can't be mad at God, no. We're met today for a reason. I think I'm on the right track now. Hey, yeah. You are the prototype. I think I'm in love. I think I'm in love, love, love again. And baby, you are the prototype. Y'all give it up for the house again. Beautiful time. Happy anniversary to Simply Poetry. Thank you to Simply Sangria. And listen, y'all come keeping these doors open, okay? Show some love, bring your family and friends in here. Shout out to Black Soul, whole crew. Thank you guys.